Hello everybody, I'm Brian and this is Cassidy and we are at Chadwick Son Orchids in Powhatan, Virginia. And oh my gosh, do they have a ton in bloom. Sorry, I got right in front of Cassidy. But check out those flowers right next to her. We are going to check out all the amazing plants that they have in bloom. The Cattleyas are going crazy here. They are amazing. So with that, let's go check out Chadwick Son Orchids. All right, here I am inside Chadwick Son Orchids. And like I mentioned in the intro, there are so many orchids in bloom here in October 2025. If you love Cattleyas, stay tuned because this video is definitely going to impress you. This is a Cattleya labiata. Let's see if I can zoom in on the name. Beautiful cultivar labiata. Chadwick Son Orchids is a world-renowned orchid nursery here in Virginia, known for their amazing Cattleyas, particularly their First Lady namesake Cattleya orchids, like this guy here, Cattleya Lady Bird Johnson. The First Lady series, they have some available and we'll check those out. Check out this amazing Cerulean Cattleya. Wow, that is so pretty. Like I said, we are in for a treat. This is this guy here. I'll zoom in on the name. There we go. But what a flower. Now, Chadwick has a wonderful variety of orchids, and we'll check out all of the blooms. They also have some really beautiful bulbophyllums that are also in bloom this month. Let's see if this guy has a name. I don't see a name on it, but wonderful standard white Cattleya. If you find yourself near Richmond, Virginia, or Washington, D.C., you should definitely pay a visit to their greenhouses. They have greenhouses. Oh, no, let me say, this is a BLC Barbara Bush, one of those namesake Cattleyas for the First Lady series. What beautiful plants. Oh my gosh. But anyway, if you're in the DC area or Richmond, definitely stop by their greenhouse in Powhatan. But if you're also in Richmond, they have a storefront downtown. So you can stop in and buy supplies, plants. It's really, really awesome. Check out the size of this orchid here. I don't see any blooms, but they have some monster specimens. Of course, over here we have some orchids that are available for sale. I love these green flowered Cattleyas. I've come to really appreciate those. It's the key lime stars Karen. Classic Cattleya I've seen several times, and it is a beautiful little flower. Very subtle. Now, this is a very pretty plant. Let's see here. There we go. Look at that. You know me, I'm a sucker for a flared Cattleya. Holy cow, that's beautiful. Only $24. And this is LC Angel Heart. Like I said, for $24. Beautiful flares. They have lots in bud and spike flowers just about to open, so there's no shortage of blooms. And check out this wonderful orange Cattleya. This is also $24. Really nice plant. And now check out this crisp white. There is so much in bloom. October is definitely a good month to stop in Chadwick's. Cassidy and I are super impressed with all of the blooms here. Now over here are some of those Bulbophyllum that I was sharing about. This is Bulbophyllum auratum, Otherworld, a CHM from the American Orchid Society. Honorable mention. Look at that little flower. I gotta love Bulbophyllums, and they have lots in flower here, but check this guy out. Holy cow. That is a cool Bulbophyllum. Wow. This is Bulbophyllum Jersey, Black's Red Star. A massive flower, and there's tons of blooms. Now here's Bulbophyllum Sunshine Queen. I have one of these in my collection, and it does bloom for months. Like almost constantly blooming for me. It's a wonderful plant. The flowers last about a week, but like I said, it blooms pretty frequently. Here's wonderful Oncidium type flowers. Probably has a fragrance. Yep, this has got to be a sherry baby, because it does have that chocolatey fragrance to it. I don't have very many Oncidiums in my collection, but they are wonderful flowers, and they can be very floriferous. Tons of blooms, as are these little Dendrobiums. Dendrobium burana pinky. So nice. And check out these Oncidiums here. Like I said, talk about floriferous. Full of flowers. Oh my gosh. This is Oncidium Aka, baby raspberry chocolate. So nice. And they have several in bloom. These are also wonderful. Almost looks like a little lady in like a salsa dress. These are really pretty too. Oncidium Aloha Awanagara. And again, dozens and dozens of plants in bud and spike. You see towering spikes of Oncidiums. We even have a little Zygopetalum flower here. It's a very intricate bloom. I don't grow any Zygopetalums in my collection, but the flowers are spectacular. Now this plant I did see last year. This is an Ingrecum. And look at these. You can really get a nice view of the blooms. Holy cow. That is amazing. This is one of the largest Ingrecum plants that I have ever seen. Clearly extremely happy in these conditions. You can see the roots are the size of my thumb. This plant is absolutely humongous. Wow. That's like a botanical garden piece right there. Here's our clearance area, $12 for any of these plants. Lots of Dendrobiums, Oncidiums, mini phalaenopsis available for folks. Of course, if you look for house plants like bromeliads and aroids, some trees and shrubbery, they have those available too. And of course, some standard phalaenopsis. If you're looking to make a display in your home, they have all different kinds of colors, from a deep maroon to classic white. You really have your pick at phalaenopsis here at Chadwick. And then over here they have some lady slippers too, Paphiopedilums. They always have a wonderful selection of paths available for sale. These are all $35. And they have several different varieties, some alba, some with those dark maroon colors, sometimes borderline black flowers, but really, really nice. Now, over here is where they have some of those dendrobiums like we saw earlier, but they have different varieties for sale. And that's a beautiful bloom right there. Let's see, this is, I don't see a tag on it, but standard dendrobium, nobly dendrobium. They have so many blooms. These guys have very long-lasting flowers. So if you're looking for a plant that blooms sometimes for a few months, and when it grows big and strong can be rather floriferous, these are excellent options. And they pretty much come in every color you can imagine, from white to purple to maroon to having flares. And you can see they have several in bud. Now, this is a preview of what to expect. They have some absolute monster specimen Cattleyas in full bloom. The fragrance, absolutely incredible. Look at this specimen right here. That is amazing. This is BLC Hauserman's Holiday Christmas. And that's the dream right there. I hope to grow Cattleyas too, specimen size plants like this. And look at this one over here. I mean, absolute monster buds. And it does have some blooms. These are a little bit challenging to highlight, but this is also Hauserman's Holiday. Just another specimen plant just about to bloom. Now look at this wonderful bifoliate. I mean, dozens of flowers on one stem. That is an amazing piece. Wonderful hybrid. Here's the name. That is really, really pretty. Wow. Check out those blooms. And then above me, I'm going to take a step back. Check out this guy. Oh, wow. That's what it's all about, people. It's one of the reasons why I love visiting these growers, because this is what I hope to grow my plants to be specimen size like this. I mean, look at all of the flowers on this one plant. I mean, 3 massive flower spikes of blooms on this wonderful white Cattleya. This is Cattleya Swing Time. Picasso by Chicago today, 1975. Cattleya bloom. That is amazing. So impressive. Such an impressive flower. And again, this side, you can see more of those standard Cattleyas. Okay. So, let's go over here and continue on inside the greenhouse, check out this Bulbophyllum specimen right here as well. I mean, this is beautiful. That is a stunning flower. And you can see there's buds all over. And even more on the way. I think this is, let's see, this is Bulbophyllum lobii, Cathy's gold, species Bulbophyllum. Known for these weird and wonderful flowers, but what a plant. Over here we have even more. Oh my gosh, I mean, Chadwick is pulling out all of the blooms today for us. Check out that Cattleya. Wow. Now some of these are some of the boarding plants that they have, that they're growing for folks. But I'll do my best to show as many names as I can. But if not, you can appreciate the blooms. This is a Cattleya Bow Bells. Historic, standard Cattleya. One of the best white corsage Cattleyas you can buy. And look at this. This is one of my favorites. Wow. That is amazing. That yellow is super unique. It's dark while also somehow being pale. Here's the name of this guy. Cattleya ofer Chadwick, Dowiana byzanthina, from 1901. And it does have a very slight fragrance, but something over here, oh my gosh, it's the Bow Bells, has one of the strongest Cattleya fragrances. Extremely strong floral fragrance. I mean, you can smell it from quite a ways away. As soon as I smelled it, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? This is also a beautiful bifoliate Cattleya. Pale yellow-brown color with that bright pink lip. Now, the name of this guy is Cattleya Gutata Bronze Spotless. Beautiful blooms. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, the fragrance is like, you almost give you a headache if you were in a car or had this in your home. I am standing probably 2-3 feet from this flower, and it is the most delicious rose-like fragrance, is the best that I could describe it, but one of the best Cattleya fragrances. This is Cattleya Fabia semi-alba. Wow, that is absolutely delicious. I wish you could make a perfume from this fragrance. Now check out the size of that Cattleya flower right there. That is perhaps the largest Cattleya flower I've seen today. Huge purple, red-purple Cattleya. Can't really reach the name, and I'm not going to try too hard to get over there. Here's a wonderful yellow with red lip. Beautiful little Cattleya. This guy is pretty small. Stays compact. This is BLC Ivan Sung. It's a hybrid with something else. I don't want to pull the tag because it is someone else's plant, so I want to be respectful. Here's another wonderful mini cat. Look at these flowers here. That's so cute. It looks like maybe a love knot? Yeah, LC love knot. Wonderful mini cat. Stays compact, as you can see. Here's a large standard Cattleya. You can see all the flowers. Wow, that's beautiful. Now, what is the name of this one? I can't see the name. Oh, there it is. L.C. Judy Walters. L.C. Judy Walters. In bloom. Really nice. Now here we're going into one of their many redwood greenhouses that Chadwick is known for. And they have even more Cattleya flowers to appreciate in here, like this wonderful yellow bloom. This is BLC Aaron Kabayashi, Lahaina Gold AMAOS. Wow. What a display. Chadwick, there are thousands of orchid flowers and some of the best orchid fragrances I've smelled in many of the nurseries that I've visited. But when Art was telling me that there were a lot of flowers in bloom, boy, was he not lying. Here's a semi-alba Cattleya labiata. Wonderful little flower. I just added a cerulean labiata to my collection, and it just finished blooming. And check out this. That's very pretty back here. Wow. And here's Cattleya perennii. Species Cattleya. Definitely one of the more unique flowered Cattleyas that I've seen. Has these slender tube-like flowers. Can you imagine seeing these plants in the wild? I envy folks that live in Central South America and sometimes can stumble upon these types of flowers in the wild. Amazing. Here are some phalaenopsis that they have here in bloom, including this pulcherrimum, Doridus pulcherrimum alba. Tons and tons of blooms here. And you can see here is a purple variety. Look at how tall that stem is. Doridus pulcherrima. Flowers just... It's probably on a 4-foot stem. That's pretty amazing. Alright, let's go back. Because the rest of this greenhouse, there's not too much more in bloom to highlight. We have some more flowers over here to show off, including this beauty. Look at that. Look at that lip. That lip is really, really nice. And I see some more Cattleyas over here. Like I said, these are some of the flowers that folks are coming to pick up that Chadwick grows here. These are beautiful. Look at this guy. Definitely has Laelia purpurata in it. Wow. Amazing. I mean, these guys are expert growers. It's a reason why Chadwick and Son Orchids has been in business for so long, growing spectacular orchids like this. And here's another one of their greenhouses. This one has what looks like several Novelty phalaenopsis. There's a couple of blooms that I'll highlight, but just to take a walk, like I said, if you're looking to board orchids in this area, let's say your plant's gotten too big or you need some help taking care of them, this is a great place to stop in and grow your plants or have them grown for you for a period of time. We have some more beauties over here. Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow, that pink so delicate. I really like that bloom. Let's see what this guy is. Well, it looks like the tag might be broken. Well, this is a Cattleya labiata. I'm guessing it's either a true labiata, or they're not sure the cultivar. But that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Speaking of beautiful, they have... Look at all the color in here, everybody. This is amazing. Like I said, Chadwick, this is the time to visit. I think this is the most blooms that I've seen throughout their greenhouse. Wow. These are some Cattleya maxima, I'm guessing. And there's some Cattleya preparata over there. Really, really nice. Okay. Let's go back in here because there are some more greenhouses to visit, and we have some more Cattleya flowers down this way. Look at these blooms here. My gosh. Have to shimmy through some of these benches. More crisp white. Oh my god. These are wonderful. This is why I love orchids. The diversity of flowers, scents, flower type of like how the plant grows. They can stay small, some grow huge. Some have compact little flowers like this Oncidium here, which is a beautiful Oncidium, by the way. Love the colors. And then you can have orchids like this, which have flares, dark purple flare on a slightly light purple color, and look at that ruffled lip. Just wonderful, wonderful plants. Now Cassidy has several Vanda orchids that she grows here because, as my viewers know, Cassidy's favorite flowers include Vandas. I don't know how well I'm going to show these blooms here. And so Cassidy has some of her Vandas happily grown and taken care of here at Chadwick Sun Orchids, because we don't have space for a greenhouse, so it's very difficult to grow them in our conditions. Here's another greenhouse where they'll have some of those phalaenopsis for folks that want to grow them here till they bloom big and strong. So wonderful. Alright, so let's go over into their main greenhouse space over here. This is where they have a lot of their Cattleyas that are part of the First Lady Orchid series, as well as some of their specimen plants that they grow here. And of course, they have a wonderful section of Bulbophyllum, which is where I am heading right now, because it happens to be Bulbophyllum season. Now I'm going to shift some of their rows here so I can take a look, at least try to slide in, because as you can see, there are some specimens. This is another beautiful lobii. I think either this is lobii or dearii. I can't see the tag. This is a huge plant. I think it's another lobii, but it could be Bulbophyllum dearii. But this is Bulbophyllum echinolabium. This is one of the absolute worst smelling orchids I have ever smelled in my life. The flower, absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that bloom. But it smells like rotten flesh. But I mean, come on, these are beautiful. This is one of those orchids that if you do get too close to the bloom, boy, you will smell it. Now, as you can see down here, there are more bulbophyllums, but I do believe that the echinolabium and lobii are the only ones that I see in bloom down here. And so I'm going to continue onward, shuffling outside of their greenhouse shelves to highlight more flowers. Again, Chadwick Sun Orchids open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. If you're interested in stopping in, it is worth the visit. 100% worth the visit, I'll tell you that. You will not be disappointed by the flowers that you will see here. It is a wonderful place. And for any orchid lover, you'll love it. Alright, here are some more wonderful Cattleyas in bloom. This is a beauty. This is Cattleya Beringiana. Gotta love those little blooms. They're a pretty floriferous Cattleya, as you can see. Here's another white. This is Cattleya Gentrude Hauserman. Fire variety. That's pretty. Anyway, check out some of these amazingly healthy Cattleya orchids. Wow. These are really pretty. This is Elsie Stephen Olivar Foraker Lines and AMAOS, an award of merit by the American Orchid Society. Here's some more wonderful flowers. This looks to be Cattleya Maxima Chadwick. Flowers look to be on their way out. Here's another beauty here. Gosh, the fragrance is unreal right now. Over here, it's hard to tell where the smell is coming from. I would assume, yep, this one has actually a kind of delicate, almost grape blueberry type fragrance, but it's very light, very subtle, nothing too strong. And this is really nice, just very delicate purple on that lip. That's very nice. Let's see if they have the name. They do. This is Cattleya labiata amigiana. So nice. Put that back in here. Now here is a super dark blue. I know on the camera it definitely looks purple. It is a Cerulean Cattleya. Cerulean and Cattleyas are blue. They can sometimes look more purple, but that flower, incredible. Wow. And this is BLC Valerie Triweiler. Wow. Such an impressive orchid display from Chadwick and Son Orchids today. And now look at these. Just when you thought it was done. Oh, wow. That is amazing. Look at the flares on the tips of each of the flower petals. That is beautiful. Let's see what the name of this one is. There's Elsie Calistoglossa Lowe's. And then this Cattleya is a super strong fragrance as well. Look at those flares. Just like fine lines on the tip of each petal. Wow. And this one, let's see, there it is. I see the name. See if I can zoom in. And this little guy has a nice little fragrance too. This is another Cattleya labiata. This is Arthur Chadwick. And then just about to open up is this yellow flower. Not quite there yet, but still beautiful. And then last but not least, I have a couple up above. It's getting towards the end of the day, so the light in here is a little dark. I hope I can still highlight these monsters. I'm going to try to zoom in. Look at that. Wow. Just absolute specimens in flower here. Wow. Really nice. Alright, now let's come down this way. I'll show you the last and final bloom of this October tour of Chadwick and Son Orchids. It'll be this guy right here, and I think this is a great way to end the tour. So nice. So once again, if you're interested in stopping by Chadwick and Son Orchids, Powhatan, Virginia, this is their greenhouse location. You will see thousands and thousands of blooms in this world-class orchid nursery. All right, everybody, that's going to conclude my tour of Chadwick and Son Orchids here in Powhatan, Virginia. What an amazing display of Cattleya orchid blooms here in October. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I know I did. The flowers are awesome. I want to, as always, thank Chadwick and Son Orchids, Art Chadwick, for letting me bring a tour of this amazing place to all of you. I hope you loved it as much as I did making the video. So with that, I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian. I will see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.